What is going on, everyone, and welcome to my review of The Fall Guy. Now, I'm a bit late on this one. I was intending to release a review the weekend that it came out, but I saw the film and I had a bit going on, so I just missed it, and I thought, look, I'm not going to review it. But then, like, just about 2 weeks after it released theatrically, it's gone to VOD, which is really, really strange, because this film absolutely flopped, unfortunately. So I thought, look, now that it's going on to streaming or video on demand, I might do a review now, just in the hopes that if one person sees this video and goes and supports that film, then I'll be happy with that, because I really, really enjoyed this film, and I'm really sad that it flopped. And yes, firstly, new background. Went out and got a cheap light at Kmart and a cheap green screen as well at Kmart and the tripod, and let's give it a shot. So I wanted to make my videos look a bit better. I'm not sure that I'll have everything sorted out for the first few videos. It might take me a little while to get into the swing of it, but I thought, you know what, I need to have a bit of a visual upgrade, because I've noticed that using natural light just doesn't really work. So let's give this a crack. So firstly, with The Fall Guy, I absolutely love the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. They are both terrific actors, and I really, really enjoy their back and forwards, kind of like arguing, but a little bit of a backhand slap towards each other quite often. We saw their comedic chemistry together at the Oscars in probably the best part of that show, aside from the Messi the dog from Anatomy of a Fall clapping. But we were teased at how entertaining these two would be together, and on the screen they deliver constantly. There's a real kind of Ryan Gosling's pretty pathetic, kind of trying to really get to her, but he's so cool and suave, but he doesn't kind of think that he is, so he kind of ends up being a bit more pathetic in trying to prove himself to her when he really doesn't need to. And she's just very standoffish. But you know the way these films go. They always kind of start to come around to each other, and I thought that they were both very entertaining. They were very, very funny. I laughed several times in this film. Ryan Gosling is one of my favourite actors. He is brilliant in just about everything that I've seen him in. And his comedic timing is really, it's like probably my favourite comedic actor working in Hollywood today. I think he's hilarious. The Fall Guy also works really well as a great callback to classic action films. You're thinking like, your Lethal Weapons and your Die Hards. I'm not going to say it's as good as Die Hard in particular. I would say that it's better than some 80s action movies. Like, I'd say that it is better than Top Gun and Lethal Weapon, but it's a really, really nice callback to those films and old school stunt work and stuntmen, and how stuntmen don't really get the recognition that they deserve when they're really the ones that keep taking the brunt of it. And how, like, you think of Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. He, does his own stunts, and that gets all the kind of, oh my god, this dude's doing his own stunts, that's insane. But then that gets recognition, but the actual stunt performers for any other action movie don't get the recognition that they deserve. And this film really is a really nice tribute to the stunt guy. This is also based off of an old TV show from the 1980s called The Fall Guy, with Lee Majors in the leading role as the stunt guy, I believe. And I haven't had any experience with that, but this film does feel, as I said, like it is going back to the good old days. The classic practical action, a lot less green screen utilized and stuff like that than a lot of films are today. It really felt like a breath of fresh air, and it was just a borderline perfect popcorn movie. One that you go in and watch it, you have your popcorn and your drink, and you sit there, and for 2 hours, you don't think of anything in your life. You just sit there and watch and laugh and go, holy shit, that was a fucking cool explosion. And that's what this film is. It's wonderful for that. The action in this film is legitimately awesome too. It feels very authentic and real. There's one scene when Against All Odds by Phil Collins is playing, and that sequence might be the standout of the film for me. Either that one or one involving a helicopter towards the back end of the film, I thought were just awesome. And I was so entertained by this film. And the action was fantastic. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what this film is and what it needs to be. This is a film that marketed itself as a silly escapism kind of action film where the two leads are bickering and bantering while he's doing everything and trying to save the day, and she's kind of, a bit standoffish towards him, and he's doing all these cool stunts, and slowly but surely she starts to come around to him and you're rooting for them to get together. And it's that kind of simple, structured film that we've seen 100 times, but it's done so well here because it's not trying to be anything else. It's trying to just make you go to the cinema and sit there and watch it and think, this is awesome. And then when the movie ends, you're like, oh, yeah, geez, I haven't thought about anything in my life. And that's the point. You go there to zone out. It's a bit of mindfulness, and this film really succeeds at that. As much as I did love this film, I did have a few problems with it, and I'll also discuss why I think this film flopped in regards to specifically one of them. The first problem that I have with this film is that it is overstuffed. It's sort of a mystery film, which I haven't even mentioned yet. You're kind of wondering, it's like a missing person mystery where the main guy, the main actor for this film that Emily Blunt's directing, goes missing and Ryan Gosling has to go out and try and find him. It's a romantic comedy, which I really like, and it's a stuntman tribute. So it's kind of three different genres or three different blends of different things. It's like mystery, comedy, action, some of them. Like it doesn't need to have this much into it. The film feels like it's dipping its toes into different things throughout, especially in the first act. And then it comes into view eventually, but I think this film is definitely overstuffed, and that leads me on to my next one. This film could have been shorter. It could have been 90 minutes, 100 minutes max. And I think people seeing the film as having a runtime of 126 minutes, I think that turns people off, because if you're watching a film that's over 2 hours, then you are going to be spending at least maybe 4 hours there, like driving there, sitting there through the ads, getting your food, watching the film, and then leaving and getting out and getting home. You're going to spend a lot of time. And I think some people are just reluctant to spend that much time in a cinema, which is, like, the thing is, it's over 2 hours, but the actual film isn't 2 hours long, because that's just including approximately 10, 12 minutes of credits. So the film isn't as long as it seems, but I do think that the length is a drawback, and people will see that and think, I can't really be bothered. And these films need to be 90 minutes. Seriously, cut the mystery subplot from the film and just make it a romantic comedy plus stuntman tribute. You have a really, really brisk, great, feel-good, fun film on your hands. And I think it would have succeeded a hell of a lot more if it had been just that. And the thing is, with this kind of action film, you expect it to be at least in America, the summer blockbuster hit. You expect it to just knock it out of the park and get everyone going. You expect packed theaters. I went there maybe 3 or 4 days after opening, and I reckon there was about 5 other people in my giant theater. And it's kind of depressing, because when you have two of the biggest names in Hollywood starring together in an action film, if that doesn't draw people in, then what does? Aside from already existing intellectual property films, like just coming out recently, Furiosa. That's already part of Mad Max. And it's a little bit of a shame, because I really, really wanted this film to succeed, and I don't like seeing original films not succeed, because then that'll discourage studios to make more original stuff, and they'll just go giving us another fucking Ghostbusters spin-off or something like that we don't need nor want. And it's just like, it's a shame. But with all that being said, I love The Fall Guy. I really, really enjoyed this film, and that's why I'm making this video, because if you get a chance to see it at home, then just take that opportunity and watch it, because it's really good. Just try and give it a little bit more power, just so they can see that we do give a shit about these kind of movies, and that these are what movies are made for. So The Fall Guy is absolutely worth watching, and it is worth buying. So thanks for watching my review on The Fall Guy. I didn't have as much of a structured review today. I kind of just wanted to test out this green screen behind me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Look forward to my next video. I'm not sure what it'll be, but maybe just to support Furiosa, I might have to watch Beyond Thunderdome and Fury Road and then go see Furiosa, and then I might do a review on Furiosa next, because that sounds good, and there's not really that much else coming out in the next couple of weeks or so. Anyway, that's all for today. I'll see you all later. Bye.